Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading Multi-Character Listener by me, so let's get into it. Muichiro. Now Muichiro would never hurt you on purpose, and usually on a good day. On a day where your mind felt stable, where you could think clearly, you would never assume that of him. But today seemed to be going wrong in all the ways it possibly could. First off, you broke something of his, something that was quite precious to him, and that already ticked him off. Somehow he managed not to argue with you, which you were relieved for, but you could still see that he was mad. And perhaps you were a hair away from a serious fight together. So you avoided him. You tried to apologize, but you didn't know how to actually effectively do that. So you stayed as far away as you could, as if that would prevent disaster. But somehow that seemed to call it on. So you're just gonna stand there, Ryan? You're not gonna try to fix it? Michiro, I really meant... Well, I don't care what you meant. You should have at least showed that you cared. He yelled, and then took a step towards you. And suddenly all rational thoughts flew out of your head as your mind carefully retreated to what was known to it most: punishment. He knew that you were wrong, and right now he was angry, and that meant he could only want to hurt you, and that was the best case scenario. You stumbled away, fearful, but you didn't realize that he was never going to do that. And once you plunged away, he stopped, pausing to look over at you, as if realization was only dawning on him right now. Ryan, did you truly think I would hurt you? Michiro, I would never do that. You know I wouldn't, he said, wrapping his arms around you tightly. He was slow at first in his movements, gentle as he needed to be, and that was all you got from him. He held you, and you found yourself melting into his arms, closing your eyes as you rested your head against his shoulder, letting his hand go through your hair, stroking it gently, while you let out a soft sigh. He was everything you needed, and he was the comfort that you were desperately grasping for. Your thoughts may be irrational at times, and today was one of those days. But you should know that no matter what happens, Muichiro would never hurt you. He's just not that type of person. And to him, you were someone he needed to protect, not hurt. And that's why he held you and kept reassuring you that no matter what went wrong between the two of you, no matter what mistakes you may make, he will never lay a hand on you. Not now, and not ever. And you should always be assured of that. And thankfully, his hug and his calmness and the words he said to reassure you were all you needed to feel like you could be safe. Giyuu didn't really fight with you. If anything, he feared fighting with you because he didn't want to make you sad, and honestly, he didn't know how fights would go. And it made him anxious, because what if he loses his temper? It's not that he was afraid of hurting you, because it never really crossed his mind that you would. It just was not a thing that was going to happen, and not a thing that he had to think about. But certainly, there were some other things to think of. And amongst those things was something else. Perhaps not scaring you. And he didn't think that he could scare you, not in any manner. But when arguments broke out, it wasn't like he was actively thinking of how not to scare you in any possible way. And he didn't read you very much, not while the two of you were focused on arguing with one another. And then he yelled, took a step closer towards you. And that's how it happened. You fearfully stepping back and looking at him with wary eyes. And then he paused in his movements, looking around him, at his feet, then you, as if he was completely weirded out by the sudden expression on your face. But soon it dawned on him that you're scared of him, and he took a deep breath, holding up his hands. I'm not going to hurt you, Ayan. If that's what you thought, though I hope that's not the case, he said, fidgeting for a little bit, trying to gauge your reaction. And looking away, he whispered, I'm sorry, Giyuu. I know it seems like I can't be responsible or argue with you like a normal person, but I get scared. And why is that? It's not like I hurt you before, and you know I wouldn't do that. Do you not trust me? Is that it? No, Giyuu. You know I trust you. I believe you, and I know you would never hurt me no matter what. But it's just my brain being like that sometimes. It's stupid. You whisper, frustration eating at you. And Giyuu gets it. Not everything works out the way you want it to. But for now, whatever argument you had completely faded away from your mind like it didn't matter. And now, his attention was on you, like you were the most important person in the world. And in that moment, where he realized that maybe he had been the cause of your fear, even if for one moment, during today, well, it mattered to him, and it was an issue that he was going to investigate. Perhaps you couldn't ask questions right now. It wasn't like he was entitled to your answers. But at the very least, he needed to know what scared you and what made you feel that way. And for now, he knew arguing or at least yelling at you was probably one of those things that ticks you off, and he would do well to avoid them. He gently wrapped an arm around you, guiding you down to the couch, and gave you a glass of water. And whatever happened that day and had annoyed him previously was something of no matter to him, because you would always come first, no matter what happens.